All right. What's up, chat? Talk to me. How are we doing today? What's up, Rayso? Hope you're well, man. Good evening, good afternoon. Obviously, depending on where you are. What's up, Tomo? What's up, Chris? Let's give it a. Yeah, we're a bit early here on the stream. 7:28 p.m. my time. We're 2 minutes early, but you know, let's give it a couple of minutes and then we're kicking it off. What's up, Jesus? Hope you're well, man. You missed a trade, but you're doing fine. What trade did you miss, man? I'm doing good as well. So, what did we have for dinner? Who had the best dinner today? Or do you guys need to have dinner? Oh my gosh, tired. Ramen noodles. I feel you, bro. It's it's Raymond, man. What's up, bro? Noodles. Meat. Thai street. Oh, damn. Really, Chris? Thai street food? That's good. I like that. Let's get everything into play right here. Let's get the 2-week composite. And then the quarterly. And then the monthly. Oh man, I'm tired. Oof. Is the low end? That's the golden question. In my opinion, we're getting really close. And actually, I think that's a great question. So let's just fire it up right away because I think in today's stream we're going to be taking a look at the usual. We're going to be taking a look at VWAP. I do want to have like a broader view on the market in terms of rolling VWAP, right? Especially the yearly rolling VWAP. It's good to see more people using it these days, and I figured why not just see how we trade towards the yearly rolling VWAP on the higher time frame perspective to get to basically build a narrative around something that you're trading. And we're going to be using Bitcoin for that today. Then we're going to be going the trades from Sunday, what I'm expecting going forward, why we're rejecting here. We covered that in Sunday as well, and then just some nice Q&A. I tend to keep it short here because I just want to do a brief update during the midweek reviews. Sundays are a bit more, more in depth about what we're going to be trading. Midweek review is basically like what happened, what can we expect going forward? Is the buy still the same, or does anything change throughout the first 3 days of the week? So, with that being said, I would like to start off with rolling VWAP, and for that I'm going to be using the BitHump chart. And we're going to be taking a look on it on a weekly perspective right here. Reset chart view. Let's get rid of this horrific Fibonacci level. I want to have the logarithmic scale, and then I want to have the rolling VWAP, and then especially the yearly. Now, everybody can use this. 83k bearish line in the sand. I'd argue that 74k is the bearish line in the sand. So by the way, let's get rid of the, do we need to get rid of these? No, we don't really need to get rid of them. So as you can see, now we've scrunched up this chart, right? This is from November 11, 2011 up until now. So let's take a quick look at how Bitcoin reacts to the yearly rolling VWAP, right? We start auctioning higher. Any pullback back into that yearly rolling VWAP is a buying opportunity for higher prices. The moment we auction below, we get bear market. The moment we accept back above, we get a bull market, okay? Retest initially, we get a nice bounce off this level, and then initially we break, then afterwards we break lower. The moment we accept below the yearly rolling VWAP, we accept above, rally, accept below, puke, right? Accept above, bull market, retest, bull market, right? Then we fail to hold as a support, retest it from the downside, bear market, right? Acceptance above, bull market, retest, bull market, and now we're trading here. So if I were to zoom in here, reset chart view, let's zoom in. The sentiment on Twitter that I'm currently seeing is horrific. I'm seeing everybody's losing their shit, right? It's, I would argue that's even worse than when we were trading at 50K. Now, that's interesting to me because we're still around 82K, and that's good on Bitcoin. So, if I were to say anything, I'd say as long as Bitcoin is trading above the yearly rolling VWAP here, it's a buying opportunity. Now, do I think that the actual low is in here? Not really. What I would like to see is this structure. What it resembles of is one drive, two drive, and then what I would like to see, what will really confirm to me that we're getting a reversion, like a big reversal pattern, is when we sweep it one more time and then reclaim it, right? Because if I were to put some lipstick here on the chart, purely some price action values here, we've got a previous range high, then we've got a big structure there. Essentially what Bitcoin did was it consolidated for 3 months here, then it broke away from value, backside retest here, and then we saw another auction lower towards the yearly rolling VWAP. The thing that I don't really like is that we're basically front running the level right now. We didn't really tag into it, right? Similar to what we did right here. This was a better structure, big flush into the level, second retest, right? Couldn't break below, and then the rally begins. So combine the fact that we have that previous all-time high here, I would love to be a buyer. Like, I'm not saying that we need to be sweeping the lows because we are, if this is the range that we're trading, we just had a spike below that low. And lower time frames, we are looking for some confirmation that, hey, if we can auction above this level right here, which I will show you in a bit, then sure, we can target higher prices. But until then, I'm keeping an open mind here that this might be a structure like this, where we form one drive, the second drive, and then the third drive, followed by a reversal back up into the highs, all right? So my higher time frame picture, nothing changed. One thing that I do want to add here is that the quarterly rolling VWAP, which is the 19 days, a filter that I tend to use here is whenever we see the 90-day crossing the yearly, it's always going to be a trend shift, right? If we're crossing it towards the downside, trend shift. If we're crossing it towards the upside, it's a trend shift. We are nowhere near a cross here. So what I think is probably going to be happening is that we're getting a prolonged range here. 90 days is going to be crossing somewhere around here. We're basically going to be doing a bit of ping pong between these two values. And then essentially we're spiking this level and then we're getting a reversion higher. If for some reason we're getting higher time frame closes below the rolling VWAP based on the year, it's wrap it up. Because at that point we're getting a bear market, right? I don't know how low we're going to go. What I think would be a good price point would be maybe 65K, 50K, something along those lines. But until this holds the support, right? Unless this breaks lower, it remains our bullish line in the sand. So with that being said, let's take a quick peek here at the developing values and the previous values on VWAP before we jump into the price action chart. Right here, we've got the yearly. Essentially, this is what I want to see. We have previous year value high up here. I will allow Bitcoin to do whatever it wants in the first half of this yearly value. I stay by my thesis that if we're getting this sweep of that third low, it's the one that you want to be buying. Confirmation is acceptance above previous year value high. If we're getting this, I think the lows are in and we might have a shot towards way higher prices, right? But until then, we're going to be keeping it, trading it level to level. That being said, if we're taking a look here at the previous quarter, on Sunday I said, we're building time and space below previous quarterly VWAP. We're basically bracketing throughout the level, which is an indication to me that, it isn't as clean as it used to be. So going forward, I'm putting more emphasis on the monthly, instead of the quarterly, because if we're taking a quick peek here on the monthly, we can see right here that we saw a deviation above, and then the initial reaction here was pretty spot on. And now that we're trading below, we have this amount of time and space between a potential retest. So this is why my thesis is also what, if we're getting some upside, I think it's going to be getting capped at the previous month value area low, all right? And then on Sunday, last, but not least, if we're taking a look here at the bottom left chart, we can see the 2-week value. Do you guys remember that from previous Sunday stream? We had 2 weeks of overlapping value. We have a 2-week composite here, and that's basically capping upside. So no surprise, this was a beautiful shorting opportunity for a move back towards the lows into this, demand right there. And now if it's going to be bearish, I need to see this hold as resistance for a move back into maybe this previous low or that one. Conversely, I will change my bias when we can, get a clean break back within value. That means above 84K. If we're getting that, I think a rotation is on the cards towards 88K. All right. So if I were to put everything on a single chart, let's go towards the Coinbase chart here, right? The 30-minute time frame. We're adding the rolling VWAP, the high volume bars. On Sunday, we had this sweep into the first standard deviation of the 365 rolling VWAP, the smaller one, right? We got a beautiful high volume point of control here for a long opportunity towards Monday's high to take out these highs. And that's basically trade done. Conversely, for the short, what we have here is, let's add these two, 30-day rolling VWAP and a 7-day rolling VWAP as well. Right here. Essentially, what we're seeing here is that Bitcoin is unable to reclaim the 7-day rolling VWAP, confluent with Monday's high. We've got that 2-week value area low as our bearish line in the sand. So I think heading into the remainder of the week, the thesis that we've outlined on Sunday remains exactly the same. This was a buying opportunity. This was the area where I said I expect sellers to step in at the 2-week value area low. We're getting exactly those 2 price points. So if you took those trades, well done to you. Going forward for the remainder of the week, what I think we should be focusing on is how is Bitcoin going to be reacting. Let's get rid of the rolling VWAP real quick and the high volume bars to just have a clean chart. How is Bitcoin going to react at the 2-week composite value area low? This is resistance for a reason. If you don't want to look at the value area low, you can simply plot the Monday's high right there, right? It's a auctionable level as well. So Monday's high, let's expand it throughout time. Monday's low. So we're basically rotational between these 2 extremes. What's of interest to me is these poor highs here. I mean, there's probably going to be a shit ton of stops resting above those highs, and it's a sticky point for me. Do I want to position myself for longs right away after sweeping this low for a move back into the high? No, not really. And why is that? It is because we've got this 2-week value low as resistance, slightly above us. So I would say this is our bearish line in the sand, and this is our bullish line in the sand here, the 365-day VWAP. So that will set up 2 trades right now. The first trade was the short already here. I think if Bitcoin is bearish, we're going to be seeing a reaction here, right? If sellers are stepping in, it should be here. Confirmation that we're getting a break lower towards, towards this low and potentially even this low into the 365-day VWAP is a clean break back below the previous year value high. I mean, it's not, it shouldn't be a surprise that we're seeing a reaction here, right? Because it's exactly at the previous year value high. So getting this time and space between rejection there, and that's the point where I'm like, all right, well, we're getting the confirmation that we're like to auction lower. Let's see how low we can go. And at that point, I think the buying opportunity will be at the 365-day VWAP. Conversely, if Bitcoin can show me that, we had a good amount, we had good data today based on CPI. The fact that we weren't able to push through on those data points was telling to me that we were getting a reversion lower back into this poor low, right? We had a poor low intraday. We took that out, and now we're basically ping-ponging between the 2-week value low and the previous year value high. Is there an auctionable trade here right now? No, in my opinion, not. What will be a quality trade? A good continuation trade for me would be a clean break back above Monday's high, build a base here, try to sell off, and then it fails to break below the 2-week value low. Now, why would that be important? This would be an indication to me that we're finding acceptance back within a previous established value, in this case, the 2-week composite. And that will make way for a move back into 87.1K, which is the previous month value low confluent with these poor highs. So that's the trade number 2. Then the final trade for the remainder of the week, if it sets up, is, this trade where I'm like, let's hide this, by the way. Can we hide this visibility? Let's get rid of this on the day. Let's do that for this one as well. Day. And then let's go to a daily chart. Like that. So the obvious trade here for me would be like a higher time frame trade would be a long at the yearly rolling VWAP. If I remove these again, and we're taking into account what we were discussing at the beginning of the stream, this is starting to resemble the look of a potential tree drive structure into higher time frame demand. Again, if we go back towards bit hump here, look, weekly time frame. Anytime Bitcoin has interacted with the yearly rolling VWAP, it has marked a low. If it broke below, then it has marked a shift in structure, and at that point we can target way lower prices. But until then, this is just super high time frame support, right? We got this as well, so it can do whatever it wants here. I just think that we already got like price capitulation, right, where everything is going to zero in terms of value. Usually what happens afterwards is that everybody's betting on an instant reversion back towards the highs. I don't think that we're really getting that. I think we're getting a prolonged consolidation here, or maybe a big ass chop here before we're doing anything positive again on Bitcoin. Now, should we really close below the yearly rolling VWAP, similar to what we did in 22 here, I'm out. And I'll see you guys on the flip side, because that's, I'm going to be patiently waiting for this to bottom out, show me any signs of a reversal, and then I'll be getting back into spot. But until then, this is higher time frame support. Is that clear for everybody here? What's up, Maurice? What's up, Brown Butter? Hope you're doing well, man. And is that clear in terms of how we can, treat the market going forward for the remainder of the week? And if there are questions, do let me know. So let's get the drawings back in. I think that's a wrap already. Like, how long have you been streaming? I think like 15 minutes, right? 17 minutes. But that's all there is, to be honest. That's Bitcoin. And altcoins will follow Bitcoin, whatever it wants to do. So to quickly summarize it one final time for those of you who joined the stream late, I'd say there are 3 trades for the remainder of the week. It's basically similar to what we were discussing on Sunday. Bitcoin is rejecting of a 2-week value low, right? We've seen that, and we talked about that past Sunday. No surprise that sellers are stepping in here. If it can show us, hey, we're building a base above Monday's high, we're building a base above the 2-week value low. At that point, we're going to be looking for longs. If you're a price action trader, we got a nice beefy H2 down close candle here, confluent with 2-week value low, and you wick into that level and a close above. That's your confirmation for a potential move back into 87k above these highs. Conversely, if this remains resistance and we accept back below previous value high, I honestly believe that we're getting a run towards Monday's low again, into this low, into the 365-day VWAP. And at that point, we have 1, 2 setup, right? And then the third potential setup would be big flush into the yearly rolling VWAP, close above. I mean, if we're talking about a trigger, what I would like to see is, show me some high volume bars here. For example, this, right? Nice high volume bar with a point of control of the low right there. Same to this, right? High volume bar, point of control of the low as a reversal chart or a reversal trigger to get into longs for higher prices. So let's go over the chat real quick. Do you think we can just diddle around the yearly rolling VWAP for a few weeks? Yeah, so that will have, honestly, it will have my preference, because if I'm taking a look at this again on a higher time frame perspective, bit hump, maybe 3-day chart, whatever. For example, this right here, like that's the type of, for example here, the longer the consolidation, the more violent the breakaway from value will be. So, same here, right? We don't really, and people are always afraid that they will miss the actual low. But it's like when a big oil tanker on sea is sailing into one certain direction, it will take weeks or a couple of days before it sets around, right? Before it turns around. It's not going to be It's not going to be a V-shaped recovery. The only time that we got there was during COVID, right here. This is legit the only time that we're getting a V-shaped recovery on Bitcoin in the past couple of years. So I would rather see it build a base down here than a final spike lower. So let's say that we do build this, I don't know, which would be awesome because we can trade these extremes, right? We can short range high, long range low, and just continue to play this game until we finally get the capitulation lower, reclaim that low, and at that point, I think it's game on. At that point, I'm going to be risk on altcoins. I'll look to the right side to see, you know, do we have anything outperforming here in terms of Ethereum, Solana hype, etc. But until then, it's protect your capital at all cost. Second setup a bit dodgy. Nah, not really. You're referring to the acceptance below previous year value high. You know, I'd rather wait for the 3-day because for those of you who are using a TPO among us, if you're taking a look at today's profile, we can overlap the past 3 days as a 3-day composite. So that's going to be interesting as well. But I didn't want to make it too complicated today. All right. If there are no more further questions, then I think it's a wrap. And I will see you guys within the next stream on Sunday. Let's give it a minute to see if anything, if anyone has any questions, and if not, it's a wrap. All right. Thank you all for attending the stream. I will see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Peace.